Hello everyone and welcome to a brand new video, and today, I'm sure you didn't expect me to upload this today, we are back on Motorsport Manager 3 for the first time in a long time, and we are going to finish this Formula 3 season once and for all. And if you remember correctly, we actually have a chance to win both the Drivers and the Constructors Championship in today's episode. Sam has done an amazing job in the previous 3 races, and now he is only 8 points behind Logan Sargent, who is the dominant championship leader. So the fact that we're even in the title fight is incredible. We're going into the finale here in the Monaco Grand Prix, and now we have a hope to try and beat Logan Sargent, but it will not be easy. We're going to need one hell of a weekend here. And we will start that weekend by going into qualifying here at the end of our first run. Sam will go around the final corner and he will go purple because he will be the first car to cross the line. However, the pace isn't looking too good as Poulis actually ends up beating our lap time. And now we're 12th and 14th. Oh dear, this isn't looking good. But Arthur Leclerc with a brilliant lap time to get up into P2. I'm not sure how Kohler is 1 second quicker. There's no way. Meanwhile, we're going to start one more lap, but Sam just doesn't have a good setup. So at this rate, I have a bit of a plan. He's not even improving either. So we're going to bring him in and keep Leclerc out on track. So Sam will go into the pit lane and we're going to get him a much better setup. And if he does have enough time to do one more run, it should be a lot more competitive. So we're going to do our thing, make sure the setup is good, but not to ruin it. And it should be 7/10 quicker than what we already have. Meanwhile, Leclerc did improve, but he's still a second behind Keller. I don't know how. Sam will get time to do one more run. And I think if Leclerc's really lucky, he will get one more run as well. Cordial has taken pole position. How? I have no idea. Now Sam, round the final few corners, it has to be a big lap if he wants to win the championship, and that is much better from the Slovakian. That is what we needed, as now Leclerc will also do one more lap, and if he really does put it together, we could try and steal a P2, but I really doubt it. We are improving. Now through the final corner goes Arthur Leclerc, and he will go through the line, but he will remain in P3. He did improve, but P3 and P6, and crucially, Arthur Leclerc is in front of Logan Sargent, who is in P4. So possibly we could try and hold up Sargent and ruin his chances of winning to try and help Sam in the championship. So the plan is quite simple. We are going to split the strategy. We will put Sam on the super soft tyre, so he will be slower. But if he does get a lightning start as usual, we could get ahead of Logan Sargent. 5 red lights here for the Monaco Grand Prix. The finale of Formula 3 is underway. And I'm not sure who's had a good start, but through turn 1, we remain in P3 and P6, which is very ideal. Leclerc is actually fighting with Poulis here for P4. Poulis up into P2. Leclerc is now fighting Cordial, who's had an awful start from pole position. Logan Sargent, at the end of lap 1, is already down to P7. So that is absolutely perfect for our championship hopes here. Now Sam has a big job of keeping him behind. We move on to lap 4. Leclerc doesn't really have the pace of the front 2, but he will be happy to just sit around and keep up in P3. 18 laps to go in this Monaco Grand Prix. Meanwhile, looking back, Sam is doing a beautiful job of making that gap huge between him and Iwasa. So that is amazing. Even if Sargent does get ahead, he will have a big gap to hunt down here for P5. So we are looking pretty good, especially for the Constructors Championship, meaning we will actually win a championship in this career mode, despite all of the bad luck we've had at certain points of the season. Meanwhile, Leclerc has actually moved up into P2 and now P1. So I don't know where he got that from, but he is now leading the Monaco Grand Prix ahead of Poulis, then Keller, actually now Iwasa in P3. So this is looking absolutely wonderful. We're going to box here at the end of lap 8. We've got a few cars in the pit lane. Meanwhile, Logan Sargent eventually has overtaken Sam. It was inevitable, but now, surely, Sargent will have no chance of really winning the Grand Prix, especially with that big gap to catch, and he will have to make a pit stop into traffic. In goes Leclerc. Beautiful pit stop, 4.7. Sam will go through ahead of him, and I'm prepared to use the team orders to get Leclerc through when I have to. But for now, Leclerc needs to get ahead of the two cars in front of him. But at the moment, this race is actually looking really good for us here. And if we get a safety car, that would be even better. But for now, Sam is really struggling on the super soft tyre, but he's going to now try and push and make a bit of a gap here to Smolyar, who is now up into P3. And at the end of lap 10, we are now leading the Grand Prix ahead of Smolyar, then Leclerc, then Cordial, who is really pushing the tyres to keep up with Leclerc. And now we are 1 and 2 here on lap 12. And now we are actually going to go into the pit lane on this lap. So Leclerc will retake the lead of the Grand Prix, and hopefully Sam will come out in clean air and push like a wild man to try and catch the deficit in the championship. It's not going to be easy, but I believe he can do it. But with a pit stop like that, that is going to set us a little bit back. But thankfully, we are ahead of Logan Sargent, and he is actually behind Aaron in P9. So we actually have a really good chance of maybe snatching away the championship, but it really does depend on the progress we can make on the quicker tyre. And remember, we are in Monaco. It will be difficult to overtake, but Sam is showing that there is absolutely no problem. He moves ahead of Smolyar. Into P6 he goes, and next up ahead is Iwasa. He is all over the back of him, and now by the next lap, he will get him to P5 for the Slovakian. You can tell he really wants the World Championship, and I believe he can get it if he keeps making progress. But look at that behind us. Logan Sargent is also making progress through the field, which is now dampening our hopes of winning. And look at what the gap would be if it ended like that. 2 points there, and nothing is really going to change. Sam is pushing with everything he can to catch up to Cordial, but even if he does get the move done, he will not win the world title. So he's done everything humanly possible in that F3 car, but it will not be enough, unfortunately, unless Logan Sargent bins it into a barrier out of nowhere. But we can be proud as Arthur Leclerc will finally get a victory, and that will seal the Constructors Championship for our team. What a moment for us. We may have missed out on the drivers by 4 points, but we are the Constructors Champions of Formula 3, and we will be promoted to Formula 2 with that championship. Logan Sargent is the world champion of Formula 3. Expect to see him on the Formula 2 grid, but that was one hell of a race, and it went a lot better than I thought it would have gone. And Arthur Leclerc, after all the bad luck he had during the season, he can finally be happy winning his home Grand Prix, breaking the Leclerc curse in Monaco in a way. Mathieu Paul is in P2, and Cordial will claim a podium in Monaco in the final race of the season. And that was a very interesting Monaco Grand Prix. As for the season, well, it was absolutely brilliant. We took the most wins as a team, and we took the most podiums joint with Scuderia Lampo. And Logan Sargent is your world champion by just 4 points. Wow. And I'm actually really shocked he only won 2 races. I thought he won way more than that. But now it's that one time where we are going to have a look at who won in F1, and Valtteri Bottas actually won a Grand Prix. Our Red Bull falling off. As if Mercedes are actually leading. No way have we got a title fight in Formula 1 after Verstappen was winning pretty much every race. Why are you happy? Why are you happy? You've just lost the Formula 3 championship and you're smiling. You know, we'll leave him to it. We'll leave him to it. But now we have all of this to go through. And shockingly, Theo Pourchaire bottled the F2 title, and Lundgaard ended up winning it in the end. Prema are the Constructors Champions of Formula 2 once again. Meanwhile, Hauger was quite underwhelming, but we move. And in F1, Mercedes are your champions, and Verstappen won the title by 1 point. Can Leclerc catch a break in any sort of Formula 1 scenario? Tell me now. Meanwhile, we will receive the championship trophy for winning the constructors. Absolutely epic. Look at that. And also, we won driver and team of the year. Zhou Guanyu was driver of the year in F2, and Mazepin, of all people, was driver of the year in F1. But that is the end of today's video. Be sure to like and subscribe for more content, and I will see you all in the next video. Goodbye.
To live life golden, yeah, we're golden, baby girl, we're golden. They're about to see us shine, 'cause we're golden. They can't